floor Rick of the Paranormal and Ghost Society. We're currently on the Mount Tallac trailhead. We're going to be ascending above Fallen Leaf Lake and then eventually to another smaller lake which has multiple islands because I guess parts of the shoreline had fallen apart and into the lake itself. And then we're going to finish it off at the Cathedral Peak Lake. Cathedral Lake. We're not going to Mount Tallac. Yeah, has some of the best views in Tahoe, but it's a hard trek. But the Desolation Wilderness, we've had Bigfoot experiences. I've had a lot of reports from others in this area. So I wanted to come out here and just see if there's any tracks or anything of the strange. Flowers. So we'll ascend. It should go to our left. And soon we'll be able to have views of Lake Tahoe, Fallen Leaf Lake, Cascade Lake, Emerald Bay or Cove or whatever you want to call it. But let me take a picture of this flower and I'll be back with more footage. It's a beautiful sunny day. We got a long ways to go, a couple miles, but it's a tedious couple miles. And then I can get to the lakes and search for any fresh tracks. If I don't find any, I don't find any. I'm all about the adventure. I just want to show my viewers that Mount Tallac kind of overshadows this region, and right here is towards this area. It's kind of northwest is the Desolation Wilderness, which we've hiked to Echo Lakes, Lake Tamarack, I believe Woods Lake, maybe Lake Aloha. There's about 80 lakes in the Desolation Wilderness. And there is also a lot of Bigfoot sightings, vocalizations, tracks. I was chased up in there. See, I've hit the wilderness from the south side of Tallac. I was on the other side of Tallac a couple years ago with my family. And something chased me in the woods, and it was groaning and breathing heavy, and it sounded like it was on top of us. Well, first we heard something take down a deer. And me and my son are standing there alone. And all of a sudden we hear, you know, and it's like running, like the whole ground was shaking. So it had to be 600 to 800 pounds, because the only time I've experienced that is when I came across what they call Boarzilla or the wild boars in Florida, you know, Hogzilla. They can get like 600 to 1,000 pounds. So when a wild hog runs, the ground shakes. Well, that's what happened. You could hear this thing running, and it stopped like right in front of us, and we couldn't see it. We had no clue to whatever was made that. But I also heard vocalizations, and so the Desolation Wilderness, hiking on the eastern end of it, kind of gives me a different perspective of what this area is like. Like this area, it's overgrown. I mean, this is like a jungle out here. There's so many trees and brush. I was able to see Lake Tahoe. Mount Tallac is a decent mountain. It's the second best view of Tahoe. Maggie's Peak is one of the best. We'll do Maggie's Peak in the fall, where we'll hike up into the Granite Lake, into the saddle. The whole family can do that one. It's not a bad peak to climb. But Tallac, when you get to Cathedral Lake, you still have 3 to 5 miles of uphill climbing. And honestly, I don't know about you, but my backpack, it weighs a lot. So for me to, you know, physically climb a mountain like that, it's going to take a lot more strength and a couple more years for me to do this, to be strong enough to climb that mountain. But for now, I've always had an interest in the Desolation Wilderness. It looks the same it did 10,000 years ago when the glaciers cleared and ran off, carving those granite peaks and rock formations. And so you're going to get to see one of the best rock climbing mountains in all the Sierras today. I'm not going to climb it. You need ropes. But I certainly will videotape it. I will record it I will take photos so you can see Cathedral Peak, because that's what it looks like, is a cathedral, and that's why I'm taking you guys back here. I don't think I'm going to find Bigfoot evidence. Hey, come here a second. Check this out. I don't think I'm going to see any evidence, but that doesn't mean that if I don't wander around the lake and the peak, that I may not see something really amazing or some evidence. This is a good picture place right here. Look at this. Look at what you guys are looking at right here. That is Fallen Lake. Emerald Bay is to the left, you can't see it, and that is Lake Tahoe. And if you look here at Fallen Lake, this area, we get Bigfoot reports all the time, anonymous or by people who browse their site, and they're like, you should hike around this lake, you'll find tracks. So it's very well forested. Yes, Bigfoot is in this region. Yes, this borders a desolation wilderness, the highest Bigfoot area in all of California, and we are here. This is Lord Rick.